Hi, my name is Ernie Smith, and I run Penn Fletcher Embroidery. We are an old-fashioned embroidery shop, commercial embroiderers, holdovers from the 1920s and 30s. Embroidery has been very popular for so many years, but the kind of embroidery we do today has gone out of popularity for the general public. I grew up in northwestern Pennsylvania in a small farming community. When I was 9 years old, my mother was pregnant with my brother, and at 9 I was a handful. So she took me to Woolworth's and took me to the craft section and bought me a potholder loom. Those little loops that you string on the loom and produce potholders. Well, I became so efficient at it that I was making potholders faster than she could give them away. And it was costing her so much to buy the loops. So she decided to take me back. Same craft section in Woolworth's. Next bin over was embroidery. That was cheaper to buy the floss and more time consuming to do the project. So for the rest of the winter, I did embroidery. And that spring at the county fair, I won a ribbon for dancing vegetables on tea towels. Little did I know it would come back later in life.
Oh, you know what?
This is beautiful. What is
This is a headboard. This is for a designer named Katie Ritter. And it is very large and bold and graphic. She loves color. This is cashmere. We get to use some really luxurious fabrics. Designers provide us with.
is this machine, hand, combination of both? Something
This
different?
is hand-guided and hand. When I was starting the business, it started out as Smith and Yates. That was Vern and I, and we used our names. And I read an article that said you should never name the company after yourself. That means you are tethered to it and you cannot sell your name. So you should name it after something that means something to you. So the address of my summer house in New Jersey is Pennsylvania Avenue and Fletcher Lake Road. It is the corner of Penn and Fletcher.
What about this brings you so much satisfaction that has helped propel your longevity over all these years?
Well, I am a maker at heart. My parents had the good fortune of naming me after my father. His name was Ernest, and my name is Ernest, and the last name is Smith. A smith is a maker of things, and Ernest means serious. I am a serious maker of things. It's in my blood. I just love to make things. And this satisfies all the design training that I have, all the art training I have, all the learning to cooperate with other designers in a collegial way. It's all my loves together. However, I make a regular salary and I work 9 to 5. This is our oldest machine, a machine from 1878. That's 13 years after the Civil War. Still in use. It's marvelous that they would put mother of pearl embedded into the base of a machine. But these were extraordinary inventions in their day. Many of the machines are no longer made. In fact, most of the machines are no longer made. And I've spent my life collecting machines as they became available. I'm a machine junkie, to be truthful.
As technology has progressed over the years, how has that changed the way in which you produce your work?
The computers and the computer industry, they are a tool. But what I like to say is, it's like a piano. Just because someone owns a piano doesn't mean they should play Carnegie Hall. So, has computers, they are an assist, like the electric saw. They have moved part of the work forward, but the artistic part has not changed. That still has to come from the individual, from the heart. We've had special motors made for these machines because they were You have to remember, these machines, many of them came from a time period that was before electricity. So they were not designed for electric motors. They were treadle machines. So the machine that I have, the machine base that I have today, has a custom motor on it that will go very slow to baby the machine. So let's see if this is set up and still running. It is. Okay. So the marvelous thing about this machine is that it actually makes the cord as it sews. And the cord sits up on top of. And the reason it is called a three-thread is that it has one thread that is a filler, one thread that is a wrap, and one thread that is a sewing thread down there on the floor. And that's why it's called a three-thread machine.
Can we talk about some of your more favorite projects that you've had over the years?
Oh, there's so many. Movies, Memoirs of a Geisha, The Aviator, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Phantom, still love Phantom. I think one of my favorite dresses that we still do is Christine's Masquerade dress. I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. We did a lot of work with ACO, both on Bram Stoker, on the movie that she made. Marvelous designer, wonderful woman.
Did you work on The Fall?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
one of my favorites.
The lotuses on the
Beautiful.
one. Yes, we did those. Long distance.
What is your current situation in regards to COVID and the current global pandemic? How has that affected your business?
Well, we closed on March 17th, a date in infamy. But it was serious for us because while we had to stop work, the rent didn't stop collecting as a payable. The insurance didn't stop. So we went into debt in order to cover those expenses, and we hope to recover. We came back toward the end of May. We are stumbling every day because while we may be ready to do a project, some of the other vendors that we work with aren't ready. The thread isn't available. The fabric isn't ready. The designer's out of town. It's just very confusing. We've completed the theater work that we had on the shelf, and no new theater work is coming in, and that's a fairly large percentage of our business.
What do you think is, or what do you find is a common misconception about what you do that the general public has?
When you go to Barnes & Noble and you go to the crafts section, there are books and books and books and books and books on embroidery. Not one of them will have anything to do with what we do. The misconception is that it's a little old lady sitting with a hoop in front of her fireplace doing these minutiae stitches, each one with a different name and a slightly different variation. It gives a misconception as to the value of embroidery. They think, well, embroidery must be easy, it must be cheap. And it's not. It is a time-consuming and labor-intensive